Hey there, and welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving into something completely fascinating. We're looking at how the sun acts as the ultimate source of energy, and believe it or not, a secret biological clock for literally all living things on Earth. It's a topic that connects every forest, ocean, and backyard out there, and we're going to break it all down step by step.
Okay, so think about this for a second. How do bears know exactly when to pack it in and hibernate for the winter? Or how do plants know exactly when it's time to bloom in the spring? I mean, they don't have calendars hanging on the wall, and they definitely aren't checking their smartphones for the date. Well, their secret superpower is actually hiding right in plain sight. It's in the light.
Section 1. Why light matters most.
The whole secret really boils down to a super simple equation. Light equals energy plus information. Light is, without a doubt, one of the most absolutely essential environmental factors on our entire planet. Sure, it provides the physical energy life needs to survive, but it also acts as a natural GPS and a biological clock. It helps organisms orient themselves in time and space, fundamentally influencing how they grow, how they develop, and basically their everyday behavior.
Take plants, for example. They use light to literally make their own food through photosynthesis. They combine water and carbon dioxide to grow, form leaves, and ripen their fruit, like turning a green tomato bright red. Meanwhile, animals rely on light to find their way around, hunt for food, and avoid danger. Just think of how a night-hunting owl's routine is totally opposite from a day-flying bee. Light dictates their entire schedule.
Section 2. The secret biological clock.
So the really crucial thing to understand here is a specific scientific term, photoperiod. A photoperiod is simply the exact length of the light and dark periods in a single 24-hour day. Every single day, the sun rises and sets, creating a specific ratio of daylight to darkness. And this daily measurement, it's the very foundation of how living things track the passage of time.
To make this super clear, just think about the seasons. In the summer, the photoperiod features much longer days and plenty of sunshine. But in the winter, well, that flips entirely, and we experience much longer, darker nights. Plants and animals are constantly detecting these exact seasonal shifts in the photoperiod. They are literally measuring the length of the day.
Which brings us right to our next big vocabulary word, photoperiodism. If the photoperiod is the measurement of the light, photoperiodism is the reaction to that measurement. It is nature's unbelievable ability to react to those changing daylight hours and physically prepare for the future. It's what helps plants and animals adapt to the changing seasons before they even happen.
Section 3. Nature's seasonal calendar.
When you step outside, you can see these massive changes in nature happening all around you. As the photoperiod changes, whole ecosystems react. In the spring, when days get longer, it's a giant green light for birds to start breeding and for flowers like tulips to bloom. On the flip side, the shorter days of autumn act as a massive warning alarm. They tell the trees to drop their leaves to conserve energy. And for animals, it's literally a matter of survival. The shrinking daylight tells geese it's time to migrate south. It warns the hedgehog to eat up and hibernate, and it even triggers the hare to shed and change its coat for the snow.
Section 4. Ecological groups of plants. Now, not all plants want the exact same amount of sun. There are actually three main ecological groups in the plant kingdom based on how much light they need. First, we have the light-loving plants, like sunflowers and pines. They demand bright sunlight, usually have smaller leaves to tolerate the heat, and they absolutely dominate open meadows. In the middle, we have shade-loving plants, like moss and ferns. They thrive in low light under dense forest canopies, using big, thin leaves to catch whatever faint light they can. And finally, we have the shade-tolerant plants, like maple and spruce trees. These are the adaptable survivors that can handle both direct sun and the shady edges of a mixed forest.
Section 5. Amazing light facts.
So many organisms use day length as a precise seasonal calendar to trigger some truly incredible transformations. Did you know that it's the long summer days that specifically signal an onion to form its bulb underground? Or that chrysanthemums actually wait for the short days of autumn to finally burst into flower? Even the Arctic hare relies on the shrinking daylight to swap its brown summer fur for a blinding white winter coat, so it stays perfectly camouflaged in the snow. No calendars needed.
And the facts just keep getting cooler. Sunflowers actively turn their heads to track the sun across the sky, a really neat trick called heliotropism. Also, migratory birds don't just use the sun to know what season it is, they actually use its position in the sky, along with the stars, as a map to navigate. And those beautiful red poinsettias we see in winter? They flat out refuse to flower unless they get 12 to 14 straight hours of total darkness. Oh, and chameleons? They use sunlight not just to see, but to regulate their body temperature and even change their color. How cool is that?
All right, let's summarize what we've covered today. Light is so much more than just brightness. It's the ultimate provider of both energy and information for everything alive. It heavily influences how organisms grow, develop, and behave. Living things literally measure the length of the day, that's the photoperiod, and their reaction to it, photoperiodism, is exactly what ensures their survival through the harsh changing of the seasons. And, to top it off, plants have adapted to this by dividing into 3 distinct ecological groups based on their specific light needs. I want to leave you with this really powerful thought. Study nature, understand its laws, protect it. When you finally understand the hidden magical rules of the natural world, like how an entire forest is secretly keeping time with the sun, it really makes you realize just how precious and interconnected our environment is, and exactly why we all need to step up and be its protectors.
So, here is my final question for you today. The next time you see a beautiful sunrise or a colorful sunset, don't just look at the pretty sky. Ask yourself, how are the plants and the animals right in your own backyard using that exact light right now? What secret clocks are ticking away? Keep your eyes open, stay curious, and keep exploring. Thanks for joining me on this explainer.